Everyone, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a card carousel using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This carousel will let us slide cards up and down and also jump to specific card using tabs at the top. Let's get started. In HTML, first we create a container, div class carousel container, which will hold everything related to the carousel. Inside this container, we place another div tabs, which will later be filled with tabs button through JavaScript. Next, we add div class carousel wrapper, which work as a visible frame for our sliding card. Inside this carousel wrapper, we add two navigation buttons. The first one is button class nav button up, which creates an upward arrow button. The second one is nav button down, which creates a downward arrow button. Both of these buttons call the scroll to card function with a new index whenever they are clicked. Finally, still inside the carousel wrapper, we add div class carousel track. This track is the element that will hold all of our card and will move up and down when we navigate between them. After this, we close the wrapper div and then close the carousel container div. Yes, first we style the body with the font family Roboto and have a dark background color, white text, no margin, and a padding of 2 rem units so the content is not touching the edges. Next, we style the main container with carousel container maximum width 900 pixel and make the position relative so the absolutely position child element like navigation button can be placed correctly inside it. We style the tab section with .tab. This may the tab display in a row using flexbox, allow them to wrap onto multiple line if needed, center them horizontally, add spacing of half a rem between each, and create a bottom margin so there is space between the tab and the carousel. Individual tab button, we use each tab a dark background, removes border, add rounded corners, set padding for spacing, makes the text white, changes the cursor to a pointer on hover, make the text slightly bold, and add a smooth transition when the background changes. To highlight the selected tab, we use .tab.active background white and color also text black. We style the browser wrapper. This ensures that only one card is visible at a time since anything that overflows will be hidden. And the height is fixed at a 400 pixels. Inside it, we style the track with this tag the card vertically in a column and add a smooth transition when the track is moved using CSS transform. Card is styled with .card. This means each card take up the full width of the carousel, has a fixed height of 400 pixels and include padding at the top and bottom. Inside the card, we have card content border radius 16 pixel. This makes the content nicely rounded, gives it a drop shadow for depth vertically and horizontally center the text or image. Set the font size of 2 to rem, make the text bold and keep it wide for visibility. We style the navigation button, the class nav button position absolute left 15%, translate as minus 15%, ensure the button are placed in the middle horizontally, slightly transparent, circular, white in color and place above other element using the index. Hover nav button, hover background, make them brighter. The up and down buttons are positioned separately with nav button up for the top button and nav button down for the bottom button. We begin our JavaScript with the line constant color. This create an array of color even though we are not directly using this color for the card. They help us control how many cards we want to generate since each color represents one card. Next, we select the carousel track and the tab container from the HTML. The line constant track is equal to document.get element by ID track. Get the track where the card will be inserted. The line constant tab is equal to document.get element by ID tabs. Get the tabs container where tab button will appear. Then we declare that active index is equal to 0, which keep track of which card is currently being displayed starting from index 0. We define the function create carousel. Inside this function, we loop over each item in the color array using color dot for each. For every loop, we create a new card by writing constant card is equal to document.create element div. We assign it the name class card with card.className card. Then we set its inner HTML so that it contain another div with the class card content and a background image. The background image is loaded from https pixum.photos, which means we get a random picture for each card. After this, we append the card to the track using track.append child card. We create a tab button for each card with constant tab is equal to document.create element button. We get it the class tab and set its text for the number for the card using tab.text content. We also add a click event tab.onClick. This means when we click on a tab, it will scroll directly to the card with that index. Finally, we add the tab to the tab container using tab.append child tab. After finishing the loop, we call the function update tab to make sure the very first tab is highlighted as active when the carousel is created. That completes the create carousel function. We define the function scroll to card index. Inside, we first calculate the total number of card with constant count is equal to color.length. Then we update the active index with the formula index plus count. This ensures that if we go past the first or last card, it wraps around like a loop. After that, we move the carousel track by setting track.style.transform. Translate why this means for every card index, the track move upward by 400 pixels times the index value. Finally, we call update tab so that the correct tab become highlighted after the scroll. Last function is update tab. Here we turn the tab.children into an array and use for each to check each tab. For every tab, we toggle the class active based on whether the tab index matches the active index. This makes sure the tab corresponding to the current card is highlighted. Finally, at the bottom, we call create carousel once so the carousel and its tab are generated when the page loads. That's it. You now have a card carousel using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coding projects. Thanks for watching.